head over, patreon.com/Brooks Austin. You will be a very, very up-to-date and well-informed Georgia football fan if that is so you're choosing. But Julian Lewis reclassified today, the number one quarterback in 2026. Guys, he's been a known name for like half a decade already, maybe even longer than that. Julian, I looked it up today, was covered by Under the Radar, a very well-known YouTube channel, ran by some great people that are always down here in the state of Georgia and travel all around the country looking at some of the best young talent. They did a profile on Julian in 7th grade, okay? And it was talking about how he's going to be the next great one. And this dude has been labeled with the next great one forever. Like, as long as he can probably be conscious, people were telling him that he was going to be something, and he's going to do this, and he's going to be a quarterback of all quarterbacks, and he's going to be the number one player, and yada, 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 yada. He had offers in 7th grade, taking visits to Florida and to Georgia and Ohio State in 8th grade. This guy has gone through the process at a different rate than any other player that I've covered. And this is very true, that very rarely do I watch or cover a kid in 7th grade, 8th grade, and that kid pan out to be everything that we thought he was, or that we thought he might be. Right? That's exactly what Julian's done, though. Julian has been billed as this forever, and he's exactly that. Like, he will leave high school in the 2025 class now as if not the number one ranked quarterback, one of the highest ranked quarterbacks. He will have a pick of school wherever he wants. And here's the craziest thing. It's not that he matched all the hype or that he is all the hype and that he is verifiable. He's a dude. But it's that he did so in a very different way. Okay, he is a 5-star in all the areas that we have to project. Okay, he is very different than the other 5-stars. Every other 5-star at this position is a 5-star based off of things that we don't have to project, the things that we know are going to be constants. What are those in the evaluation process? They are height, weight, speed, arm strength. Those things will never really change. If you have them, if you're 6'5", you're not going to be 6'3" when you get to college. You are what you are, right? You're only going to get bigger. But if you have those, you're always going to have those. We don't have to project them. But when we're talking about the projectable things at the quarterback position, they are very, very hard to project. Okay, they're very, very hard to be guarantees. I'm talking about things like accuracy. I'm talking about things like decision-making, right? Processing. Hey, do you have a feel for the position? Do you have pocket awareness, right? Do you have all these intangible things, all these things that we have to project, that we have to take leaps on, that we have to take guesses on for every other prospect at this position? Julian Lewis is the most known commodity in all of those intangible traits that I've ever evaluated. I know for a fact he's going to be deadly accurate on the college level. I know for a fact he's going to make great decisions with the football on the next level. I know for a fact he's going to read and process the field at an exceptional rate. Those are the things that I know about him that I don't have to project. And for me, those are extremely, extremely safe measurements and safe metrics for a position that NFL evaluators, NFL general managers, the guys who are making millions and millions and millions of dollars, they're a coin flip in this evaluation. They're 50-50 on quarterbacks in the first round of the last decade of the sport. And a lot of the reasons they're 50-50 is because of these projectable traits, right? These things that they don't know for a fact, that they're thinking and hoping that a super talented player might be able to possess when he gets to that next level. I'm telling you right now, he's not going to be 6'5". He's not going to look like Josh Allen. He's not going to look like Patrick Mahomes, okay? But he is going to do all the things that you hope and you pray that the next person might be able to project to that looks like George McIntyre. George McIntyre is beautiful. He's 6'5", 210 pounds, and he's a tremendous athlete, can make every throw in the book. But I don't know about his processor. I don't know about his pocket awareness. I don't know about his ability to make reads and run a professional offense. I don't know about his game management skills. I know all of those things about this guy named Julian Lewis, and those things make me really, really safe about the evaluation of him, okay? Because this is, for me, this is the first 5-star ever that is not a 5-star because he's big, fast, and talented. He is those things. He's very talented. But he's a 5-star because of the quarterback traits that he has that not a lot of people his age do. And by the way, he has all of those things because he works his ass off. You know why he's the most accurate quarterback I've ever evaluated in the high school level? Because he's thrown more footballs than any high school football player I've ever evaluated. I gotta stand by that. I will stand by that right now. You know why he's the best processor that I've evaluated at the high school level? Because that dude studies football really, really hard, okay? All of the great reasons why he is a great quarterback All right, a lot of it's because he's worked his ass off to do so. So I'm signing off on that one. We'll talk about, as we move into the local hour, what this reclass actually means and whether or not it opens things up for schools like the University of Georgia. Hey, that was our national hour, national college football content. Stick around. We got a whole nother hour of college football talk right now. So, Julian reclasses into the 2025 class. What does it mean? My first initial reaction, okay, upon texting sources was to confirm my thought process, which was, ooh, this just saves Lincoln Riley 12 months to not lose this guy or his own job, right? Like, the idea that Lincoln Riley wasn't going to be in some hot water come fall of 2026, I don't know. Go look at preseason top 25 rankings. See if you see USC anywhere to be mentioned. We'll talk about that some tonight. But it's not a great look right now at USC. And I thought, we're just shortening the time span there. Ooh, this might save Lincoln, like I said, the opportunity for other schools to flip. And that may be true. And I do believe that Lincoln holds really, really good establishment and foothold in this recruitment, right? I think personally, based off of all the things I know about Julian's recruitment process and covering this young man for so long at this point already, I think he's dreamed of playing in a chest up, eyes up, spread, run and gun offense, right? Lincoln's system is a dream system to a quarterback like Julian who wants full autonomy, right? He wants full control at the line of scrimmage. He wants to play fast. He wants the decisions to be in his hands, the ball to be in his hands at all times because, like I just told you in the evaluation of this individual, he's the best processor we've seen, particularly in this state, in a very, very long time with the ball in his hands, right? That's unquestionable at that point. So that's the USC pitch. You love this offense. We produce quarterbacks at a really, really high rate. I'm Lincoln Riley. But there's not a lot of security right there. At least it didn't seem like as much security as we thought maybe in August when he was about to enter a season with Caleb Williams, a top 5 team, and a potential national title run with the greatest quarterback in college football, 7-5. All right, boom, just like that. And now all of a sudden you're firing defensive coordinators and you're answering really, really tough questions in press conferences. Totally different vibe around USC. Though, again, I told you, I think they got really strong foothold because of who Lincoln is and what the offense is. But what about Georgia, right? What does this reclass do to them? And where do they stand? Where are they at in this recruitment? Because I really think there's only about 4 schools that are options, in my opinion. Okay, the day I went and saw him at Carrollton this spring, USC was there, Texas was there, Georgia had been there that morning, and Alabama was there, okay? And I do think all of those schools are still very much at play here. Okay, USC, we already talked about that. Sarkisian's always going to have a foot in the door with every single one of these quarterbacks that wants to be great. So just go ahead and sign up for that the rest of the future of Steve Sarkisian as the head football coach. So that's a threat. Alabama was a very much so a threat because of Nick Saban. Everybody wants to play for him. Y'all have learned that in the last 48, 72, 96 hours, whatever it is. Y'all know that was a very large pull. But Alabama basically has to start over now with 12 months left of this recruitment process and try to win favor in the hardest recruitment in the country. So good luck on that one, which brings us to Georgia. All right. I think Georgia has gained a tremendous amount of ground in the Julian Lewis recruitment for two reasons, or 2 words really. Carson Beck, right? Carson Beck walking out after not having played football for 4 years and throwing and completing 72% of his balls, whew, man, like there's something there. There's something there. There's something very real in the ideology that Georgia is developing quarterbacks. All right. Say what you want about Stetson Bennett, but you cannot tell me that Georgia did not maximize the talents that Stetson Bennett had during his time at the University of Georgia. You can't sit here and tell me that they didn't maximize the development of that football player through the 6 years that he was playing college football. You can't. He came into high school unranked, walk-on, left college as a 4th-round draft pick, and if all things were just about football, he might have been in a daggum NFL playoff game a couple of nights ago. Okay, so the development, undeniable. And then you get the Carson Beck thing. Now, look, if you're Julian Lewis, do you want to sit for 3 years like Carson Beck did? No, that's not ideal. Okay, but what is the destination, boys? If you're a 5-star quarterback going into college, what is the ultimate final goal? When I enter my GPS coordinates, I go into college as a 5-star quarterback. This is where I want to end up. Where is it?
NFL draft. First
Not just
round.
the NFL
First
draft.
round.
First round. That's the destination. The destination is first round. Well, guess where Carson Beck's going to go next year? Carson Beck's going to be a first-round draft pick. Breaking news right here, right now. I'm telling you. He's going to be a first-round draft pick. Now, did it take 5 years? Yes. But did he end up – is the path a little bit longer than he thought it might have been? Yes. All right? But that dude ended up winning football games. That dude ended up winning the job, and that dude's going to end up winning the right to be a first-round draft pick because the work works. All right? There's proof of concept at the University of Georgia now at this position that wasn't there before. Okay, what was there before was a Jake Fromm-esque five-star that threw for 2,400 yards, 2,500 yards, 24 interceptions, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and was a fifth-round draft pick. That is no longer the standard for quarterback play at the University of Georgia. Not since Todd Monken took it over and not since Mike Bobo revamped it. Okay, so the evolution and the proof of concept at the quarterback position over the last 4 or 5 years, or 3 years in particular, has made a drastic difference, okay, in this recruitment in particular, and any quarterback recruitment in particular that is looking for development, okay, and is looking for proof of concept. If I go there, I do my job, I do the right things, I develop, I end up at the destination that I want to be at. Now, here is the one avenue for failure at the University of Georgia at the quarterback position. There's only one. Okay, I truly believe this. There's one avenue for failure, and that's a lack of processing ability. If you can't read it, you ain't playing it. All right, if you can't read the field, process the reads, make the right decision, protect the football, you will lose your position battle. And I just spent 10 minutes telling you this ain't that guy. This is the guy that is never going to have a problem processing. This is the guy that is never going to have an issue seeing the field in terms of reading the concepts. Boys, I think Georgia, through the play of Carson Beck and the development of Carson Beck, has made drastic strides in the Julian Lewis recruitment. And also, by the way, I think it was important that on the surface when Todd Monken left, everybody's like, oh no, what's this going to do to the quarterback recruitment? And for Julian, it was important. Like, Monken and them had a good relationship, but Monken ran a very much so a pro-style offense. Monken ran his shit. Like, you come in, you're going to do what we do. This is my system. All right, we might morph it into your skill sets, but we do what we do. We do the Monken system, right? Bobo's very much so, hey, what you need to be great? You know, we think you're the best in this room. We're going to be going with you. Now, how do we collectively maximize that for you, right? You didn't see a bunch of rollouts this year. You didn't see a bunch of sprint action this year. You didn't see a bunch of RPOs this year. You saw a drop back quarterback passing game, right? You saw a processing passing game out of 11 personnel that favored Carson Beck's skill set. So I think those things all in totality did a really, really good job of improving your stance here with a guy like Julian Lewis, whose now recruitment process has drastically sped up. And by the way, it needed to. I got burnout for Julian. I'm just going to let you know, I got burnout for him. All right, for how long this process has been for him, for how many different conversations they've already had, how many different visits they've already taken. It's time. There ain't no much more high school development for him left to have either. He's seen more football than anybody at this age that we've ever evaluated. He's 16 years old. He's seen more football than anybody at his age.